How would you explain what was going on with the offense trying to get in a rhythm at San Francisco and never did?
Yeah, I mean, we played bad. It was probably as bad as we've played. We didn't execute. We left a lot of good plays on the field, and it just wasn't our best effort. So I think the bright side is these last 2 days have been probably our crispest practices we've ever had. So we just have to get that corrected, and we can't go through slumps like that for that that long of period of time where we couldn't get anything moving. And everybody's to blame for that. I mean, the line's got to do better, open up holes and protecting. We got to make plays in the passing game. So we all, I think we all kind of looked in the mirror, for our day off, and we came back kind of refocused and ready, and it's definitely showed up the last 2 days of practice.
In terms of what the line would need to do, is it pretty logical, and you guys talking among each other and say, yeah, you do this, I'll do this, or is it more mysterious as to what would affect good line play?
It's all more staying within our fundamentals. I think assignment-wise, we're pretty sound. I think we, sometimes get out of our fundamentals, get out of our technique, and that causes some problems. So I think we've dialed back into those things in practice and focused back on the basics, and I think we've seen some improvements just in the last couple of days.
JC, and after the game, Freddie faulted himself for just putting too much into that game plan in San Francisco. It took it to make too many plays, too many different plays. Did it feel like that to you?
I mean, for us, we have to be prepared to play whatever we're given. It's this is our job. We are professional football players. Our job is to know our assignments, know the playbook, know what we have in, and be able to execute it whenever asked to. So I appreciate Freddie saying that, or giving us an out. But for us, it's still on us. We have to be able to do whatever playbook the coaches put in front of us. We have to be able to execute that stuff. So we have to dial back into our books and make sure we're ready, and that can never be an excuse for us of it's too much information. We've got all week to learn it, so that can't be an excuse for us.
This is going to be another really physical defensive front and a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, I mean they fly around. They play base on first and second down almost, I think, like 97% of the time, which is rare in the NFL these days. So they'll have 3 linebackers on the field, but they play with that swagger, that intensity, they kind of have that intact mentality. So it'll be another battle. They have a lot of talent. Bobby Wagner's, maybe one of, if not the best middle linebacker in football at this point. He can do everything. And then they got a lot of talent on the line, bringing in Clowney. So we'll have to account for all of it, and we'll have to go out there and be ready to play.
Now, if my memory is right from looking at this, when you were with the Packers, you guys beat Seattle a few times. But from that standpoint, Seattle this year, outside looking at it, is such a daunting opponent. 4-1, coming off a really good game. But is it less so if your background, like yours, is you saw the Seahawks get beaten a few times?
Yeah, I mean, every team's beatable, and things change so much. I mean, Seahawks are a totally different team. This is a totally different team. So I don't think we look at that. Each game in itself is a new game and a new battle. It brings up its own problems and its own successes. So I don't think we're really focused on that. We know if we go out there and execute and play like we did against Baltimore, we can beat anybody. Now it's about being ready to go out there and execute like we did in Baltimore. And that comes with a preparation during the week of practice, in your books, in the film room, and making sure you're ready to do that. So that's something we've doubled down on and buckled in on this week, and I think we're seeing the growth in that aspect.
Your point about every team being different is of course valid, but I guess my back thought is that Russell Wilson's a real big common denominator that they've had then and now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have to do too much stopping of him, so right. I'm not too worried about stopping Russell. But I know their defense is different at this point. Obviously, Jadavion's brand new this year, so I mean it's all different personnel and different issues come up.
JC, was there anything last week like you guys played well against Baltimore? Was there anything like we've turned the corner, we've got this now, or anything like that?
No, I mean again we were 2-2 at that point. I mean that's not something you go home and bring out the trophy for. I mean there's still a lot of work to do, and there still is. I mean, it's 5 games into the season. There's still a lot of games left. So I don't think there was there was no coronation that we had won a big game. There's still so much work to be done, and we understand that. It's more just being prepared going into each week and handling the adversity when it comes of a long road trip, a Monday night game. Schedule kind of changes, so it's all those little things that we need to do a better job of handling.
Tom Luck said when you play a front like the 49ers have and you get behind, it has the potential to look ugly. Do you think the fact you guys are playing catch-up all game kind of skewed how you guys up front, kind of how great how you guys look?
Yeah, it's always easier to play with a lead when you can kind of do a little bit of run and a little bit of pass, kind of open up the playbook to play actions and not let the defense just kind of tee off on you. It's always easier for the offensive line. I think it's easier for everybody. So that's always a point where when you fall behind, the defense knows you're going to have to pass, and they can kind of pin their ears back and put all their exotics out there and realize like they don't have to worry about getting if we want to run for 5 yards because they give it left open, they'll let us. So they don't really mind that. So they can kind of do all the stuff they kind of do, those one-timers in practice that they save up all year for those moments, and then they just kind of attack.
Is it creating any kind of doubt in, man, if we face another big-time front, we're going to struggle to block these guys just because as a group you guys struggle to block them?
No, I mean, again, that's what we're supposed to, we're supposed to be able to block those guys. So there's no doubt we have to do a better job of doing that. And I think getting that stuff on film and you never want a game like that, but being able to see the problems and the issues and where we lapsed in technique. We correct those things, then we move on to the next game and be ready to go. But there's no, underlying scene of doubt or anything like that sticks with you game to game. We didn't play up to our standard and our potential, and now we have to make sure we don't do that again.
Hey, JC, when you guys have a full First Energy Stadium, you got all the support and everybody's excited about this year, how important is it to capitalize on it and establish home field advantage?
Yeah, I think, again, it's about coming out strong early and coming out and setting the tone early and getting some positive drives going and just kind of getting in a rhythm. And that's something that, we definitely have to do better at. And that's getting in a rhythm and staying in the rhythm. And you see it in the games we've had success of, going in there and playing well and playing fast and just kind of letting it loose. And then you see the games that we kind of struggle where we have these lulls where, we go 3 and out, we get behind the chains, we have penalties, and then we're kind of just trying to figure our way through it. So I think, having a crisp week of practice going in and then starting off fast, having the home field behind us and getting everything moving.
So yesterday Baker said that he thinks the urgency of this team is at an all-time high. You're talking about these crisp practices. Is there something about like back against the wall mentality with you guys, or how do you kind of?
I'm not sure it's a back against the wall mentality. I think it's more we're 5 games in. That's a big enough sample size to kind of understand what our positives are, what our weaknesses are, and that's something we are able to look at and tangibly see that we need to start faster. We need to come out faster and be able to jump into a rhythm. So I think we all know that, and after 5 weeks of kind of seeing it and understanding it, now it's about how do we execute that before the game starts, and that goes out in the practice field, practicing well, practicing crisp, and then that translates right onto the field. So I think that's something, not really a back against the wall or a panic thing. It's more just, this is something we definitely need to improve on, and we can see that game in and game out, and that's what we have to do this week.
Did the crisp practice make you wonder, where has this been?
No, I mean, obviously you'd always like to have the perfect practices, but I think it's a good sign to see everybody come to the same conclusion. All realize the stuff that we need to do better at and really buckle in and come out and put 2 really good practices together this week. So I think that's more of a positive than anything, of just all of us looking in the mirror and realizing, we need to do better. We have to come out and practice better, and that's going to make us play better.
Just curious about the point you made about when the defense can pin its ears back. And Raj, you said the one-timers, those plays. Could you give an example of what one of those plays looks like?
Yeah, I mean, those are ones where, they can kind of set their front how they want it and run twists in games that, they've never showed on film before and are kind of, if it works, it's going to look great for them. If it doesn't work, it doesn't really matter because, they're up and they're just going to be able to do the next one anyways. So it's kind of just almost like a free play for the defense of we're going to throw this, never before seen exotic twist with a linebacker mug to screw up all their protections. And then if it works, great. If it doesn't really matter. We're up by 2 scores, 3 scores, and we'll just move on to the next one. So that's kind of the position you get in when they kind of do those things of just this is one thing we drew up on the whiteboard and we've practiced it 3 times. Let's just go out there and see if it works.
I know you don't like to make tackles after interceptions, but were you happy with your closing speed on that one?
Yeah, I said when I came to the sidelines, I haven't chased somebody in a long time. So that was, you don't want to turn a bad play into a terrible play, and you want to give the defense a chance to make a stop and hold them there. Obviously, we weren't able to do that, but you always want to give the defense a chance. We have a great defense here, so you stop them at the 50 or the 45, and hope they go 3 and out, and you get the ball back, and you can make a play. So that's just something you just always hope you do your little part, and then everything works out.
Defensive players give you a grade on that?
No, I think one of our strength coaches said it'd be a lot cooler if I would have made the strip tackle, but I was more worried about just making sure I made the tackle to begin with. But I don't think. I mean, I'd have to go back to my defensive end days in high school, but I haven't done much tackling in a while. So I had to pull back on some about 10 years of experience there to go back on.
Hey, JC, this is a team with not a lot of guys who have been to a playoff season. You have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
5 games in, you're 2 and 3. I mean, the idea of managing your season over 16. Mm-hmm. All around you, the sky is falling. And we hear Baker say urgency is at an all-time high. There were like 5 teams that were 2 and 3 and worse last year who made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Is anyone delivering that message?
Well, I mean, I was on the famous Aaron Rodgers relax team and all of those. So I've been through. We had some not great starts in Green Bay. And eventually we, found ourselves right back in the playoff picture and succeeding in the playoffs. So I think we all understand it, but it's one of those things. It's a balance. It's not panicking, but there's a sense of urgency because you let a few go that you're not supposed to let go, and then you can't come back from it. So I think it's a balance of there's no reason to panic. We're not out of it, but also we need to dial in and make sure we win the ones we're supposed to win.